This is KGW News at noon.
And we start with this live look from our Skycam in Hood River at the Indian Creek Golf Course this afternoon. The snow showers stopped hours ago, but temperatures are expected to plummet into the 20s tonight. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. Warming shelters will open soon for anybody needing a warm place to stay. We'll have details on those locations in just a moment. But first, a look back at the situation this morning. Viewers saw anywhere from a dusting of snow to a couple inches at low elevation. Here's a snapshot of a herd. Let's look at the cars there. This is one that we saw from La Center. They had to dust that off. This is also in Portland, up in the West Hills. It is blanketed in white. Okay, there's still a ton to talk about this afternoon, so we want to bring in meteorologist Rod Hill for the very latest.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda. You know, the headline all of a sudden switches to dry, and we think fairly clear skies overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. And if that happens, we'll see the first hard freeze since the second day of this month. It's been a little while. When we say hard freeze, forecasters are typically referring to temperatures in the mid-20s or lower. So here are the numbers we're projecting for overnight tonight into Wednesday morning. Longview and Portland each down to 26. They're all about the same. Hillsboro, Salem, 24. Even out in the gorge about the same. Hood River will be down to 26 degrees. So the precipitation, Brenda mentioned, is all over. Now we're simply kind of hanging out waiting for some developing sunshine, which we had here in Portland, and then it went away. Visible satellite pictures showing there are breaks in the cloud cover off to the west in Washington County, and I do believe the clouds we have will be breaking up in the coming hours. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Beautiful, beautiful weather at the coast. We have the clouds over downtown. We're at 40 though, right? Kind of where we thought we would be. We'll leave the high temperature this afternoon with eventually increasing sunshine at 44 degrees. And then, Brenda, I'll go back and take another look at some of the snow reports from this morning in my complete forecast coming up.
Okay, we'll talk then. Thank you, Rod. In response to the cold, Washington and Clackamas counties are opening their warming shelters. The one in Molalla is on Kennel Avenue. Anyone can stop by now through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Shelters in Washington County will open this afternoon at 3. A quick reminder, you can send us your photos, videos, and tips about anything weather-related. Just text us at 503-226-5088. Other news now, Portland police reporting a TriMet bus hit and killed a pedestrian this morning. This happened around 7:30 at the Gateway Transit Center. The bus driver stayed at the scene of the crash and is cooperating with police. The investigation is impacting traffic this noon. Northeast Pacific is closed between 99th Avenue and the Gateway Transit Center. New at noon, there's tax relief coming for almost 20,000 Oregonians, and it's thanks to a KGW investigation. We first told you about the confusion last week after thousands of people got letters from the city of Portland saying they hadn't paid their taxes, but it wasn't their fault. That's why today Metro and Multnomah County announced they're waiving interest and fees for people who didn't pay. Here's the backstory to all this. Voters approved taxes on high-income earners to pay for homeless services and preschool for all. Metro and Multnomah County said they tried to alert taxpayers, but many didn't get the message. Even the popular tax preparation software TurboTax didn't warn taxpayers who were likely to owe. Now, not only will interest and fees be waived for 2021, but people who already paid it will get a full refund. Multnomah County is still working out those details. It is important to note, though, that this is a one-year waiver. Penalties and interest will remain in effect for 2022 taxes and beyond. Well, it's official. Steve Marks, the head of the Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission, says he'll resign tomorrow at 5 p.m. Multiple media outlets report an internal investigation found high-level executives set aside rare bottles of bourbon for themselves. Last week, Governor Tina Kotek asked that Marks resign. In the meantime, Oregon's Attorney General has launched a criminal investigation. You may have heard about the Greater Idaho movement. Essentially, it would move the Idaho border farther west to include several eastern Oregon counties. There are a growing number of Oregonians who say they like that idea, and they identify with the conservative politics of Idaho. Yesterday, they testified before lawmakers at the Idaho state capitol, and Oregon's former Speaker of the House was among them.
We want to see the kind of law that reflects faith, family, moral virtue, self-reliance, hard work, the things that Idaho is based on applied in our side of Oregon. The law has changed, and there's been a gradual erosion in our communities.
The Idaho bill says it would incorporate 380,000 rural Oregonians into the state. That would be enough for another congressional seat and an additional $170 million in taxes. For Greater Idaho to actually happen, though, legislatures from both states and Congress would have to agree to it. Hey, a quick reminder, ballots are due today for a special election over in Clark County. Among other things, voters will decide the fate of 4 school levies. Both the Vancouver and Washougal districts are asking for money to keep their existing programs running. Ballots have to be postmarked by today. Drop boxes are open until 8 o'clock tonight.